This morning I'm out at the Jackson County Courthouse, and it's a little further than I normally drive for in-person hearings, but I'm excited to be here because I was here for a Family Violence Protective Order. Family Violence Protective Order, or a TPO, Temporary Protective Order, which is the way some people say it, is a special statute and a special procedure to allow people who've been victims of violence from a family member or a roommate or somebody they've been in a romantic relationship with, allows them to get the protection of the court. And it's a little bit different than just calling the police or going through a divorce case, because it comes with some special procedures and it comes with some special protections. So to get a temporary protective order or family violence protective order, you have to file a protective order petition. And that same day that you file a petition, the judge is going to hear your case in what's called an ex parte hearing. Ex parte means that only one side is represented. Only you will be represented. And the judge is just going to look at, does it seem likely that what you're saying actually happened? And you have to show that, one, an act of family violence occurred, and two, that it's likely to occur again in the future if you don't have a protective order. And most people are able to get that initial ex parte protective order, even if they're not represented by an attorney. The second step is they will take that ex parte order and they will serve the opposing party, the respondent, with that, along with a hearing date to come back to court in less than 30 days to have a full hearing on the issue. And that's when both of you would be represented, not just you. And at that hearing, the judge is looking for the same thing. First, that an act of family violence occurred, and second, that it's likely to occur again in the future if you don't have this protective order. And a judge can grant a protective order up to and including 12 months. They might only grant it for 3 months or for 6 months, but they can grant it up to 12 months for that first protective order that you get. And the protections that you're given by a protective order are that this person cannot come near you or your children, your place of work, your home, your car for that period of time. The judge may put some provisions in there if you have children in common and the respondent still gets to see them. There may be some provisions about when or how. A judge could include some provisions about temporary, who's going to pay the utilities or the rent. They can give you access to your house, so only you have the right to be there and not the opposing party. They can allow you to have some spousal support or child support. So there's a lot of things you can do in that protective order. One of the biggest two things that the protective order family violence protective order can do are require the respondent to go to a family violence prevention program. So they'll actually have to go to some education on family violence. And second, it will take away their right to carry a firearm. So if they have a firearm arms license, or they have any weapons in their home, those can be taken away from them by law. The third and final best thing that the Family Violence Protective Order does is it puts that order into the police system, so that if you ever call the police and say, this person has a protective order against them and they're at my house, it will show up in the police system, and that respondent can be arrested on the spot for aggravated stalking if they are in violation of that protective order. So it's a little bit different than just having to call the police and hoping that they respond, or having to file a contempt action in your divorce case. You can call right then, and if that respondent sticks around long enough, then the police can arrest them right there for aggravated stalking. I like to tell everybody it's still just a piece of paper. It doesn't stop somebody from, if they really want to harm you, they could show up and harm you. But it does give you some additional protections, and it may open the doors for you to get some more support from a domestic violence shelter or something like that if you need